Hi friends, welcome back for another Accent Quickie. I'm your host, actor and speech coach Kelli Ruttle, and today's accent is New York City. In this video, we'll cover 4 sounds that make the New York City accent distinguishable from others and how you can make those sounds happen. As always, if you find this video useful, consider donating a cup of coffee via the QR code or the link in the comments below. As you watch this video, you might be wondering, well, which New York City accent is it? Because the truth is, the accent can vary by borough and even neighborhood. Also, what people tend to think of as a New York City accent has mollified over the years for a number of reasons. Migrants have come to the city from different parts of the US and different countries, and also there's been an increased availability and influence of modern technology and entertainment on the accent. Accents can still be quite intense though, especially if you get really deep into the boroughs. Another thing to consider from an acting standpoint, as those of you here for audition prep might know, casting directors more often than not will just say New York accent and not specify anything further. Nor is it easy to decipher which version of the New York City accent to do based on the limited amount of information you're given in the audition side. So, what this video covers are 4 traits that can be found in all versions of the New York City accent. That way, all your location bases are going to be covered. And then I'll follow up this video with additional tutorials that are more borough and neighborhood specific. Okay, let's get started. Important New York sound number 1, aw to aw. The aw vowel sound, as in law and aw, will have a seemingly more narrow and a longer drawn out aw sound, as well as end with a bit of an off glide. So instead of a pure vowel aw, it'll be aw. That means law will sound like law. All will sound like all. It's a subtle change, but that little bit of movement does make quite a bit of difference. Take a listen to these words and follow along for practice. Caution, taught, August, laundry. I thought they could all walk and talk together. Awesome. Next. Important New York sound number 2, aw to ah or ah. The proper neutral vowel sound found in words like foster, gone, and not will have one of 2 variations depending upon which New York accent you're doing. If you're in the boroughs of Brooklyn or the Bronx, they'll usually only make it slightly wider. Think of the British ask vowel sound. So it's the difference between aw and ah. Foster, foster. Whereas parts of Queens and Long Island will make it the wider ah vowel sound, as in spa, drama, pasta. That means foster becomes foster. Aw, ah. The changes are super subtle, but from the neutral position, they progressively get slightly wider. So aw is what a standard neutral accent is. Brooklyn and Bronx, ah. Queens and Long Island, ah. Let's try 2 more words with all 3 variations just for comparison. Gone, gone, gone. Not, not, not. And now let's try a series of words with Brooklyn and Bronx being the first variation, Queens and Long Island second. Crop, honesty, Florence, on, swamp, got, crop, honesty, Florence, on, swamp, got. One addendum to this rule is the word coffee, which is normally said with a neutral standard American Foster vowel sound. You'll never hear coffee or coffee. In New York, everywhere, you'll usually hear, if they've got a thick accent, coffee. Important New York sound number 3, I to I. The I diphthong will become a little bit more narrow in the New York accent, except when it's followed by a voiceless consonant. Voiceless consonants are things like S, T, P. When they're spoken in the English language, they sound like S, T, P. See, there's no vocalization on those sounds. This change is really subtle. I don't want you to get in your head over it, but here's a comparison. Take these two words, rice and rise. Both very similar, but the S sound in rice has no vocalization. The Z sound in rise does. This means in the New York accent, because S has no vocalization, this word will be pronounced as you or I might pronounce it, rice. Whereas this word, the Z sound, does have vocalization. So this word will be pronounced rise. It's super, super subtle, right? But listen to the difference for comparison. Rice, rise. Rice, rise. Again, don't get in your head about it, but that's the change. Hide, spine, designed, archives, rise, idle, wine. Eliza was the pride of the whole science department. Great. And lastly, important New York sound number 4, omitting the R's. As you may have noticed from some of the drills we've done in the video so far, the New York accent for the most part is a non-rhotic dialect. Now, that doesn't mean that they never pronounce their R's. What it does mean is that they'll usually only pronounce their R's in very specific places. Before a vowel, as in real or bread, between two vowels, as in hairy, or terminally, when one word ends with an R and the next word begins with a vowel sound, as in here I go, or where it is. You might also on occasion hear what's known as the intrusive R, and that happens when one word ends with a vowel sound, the next word begins with a vowel sound, so a New Yorker might put an R in between those two words for flow, as in Joanna Riz or Joanna Renai. It doesn't happen often. It's a little bit of a remnant from British colonialists, but it might pop up in speech on occasion. One more quick tip for all of New York, all those ing endings, get rid of the G. Just stop at IN, as in, are you coming? I've been waiting forever. Eva, no R, non-rhotic. And there you have it. 4 changes and a little bit extra that'll give you a great head start on mastering the New York City accent. Again, if you found this video useful, consider donating a cup of coffee via the QR code or the link in the comments below. And just like other Accent Quickie videos on this channel, this was just a start. There are more New York City accent sounds that you can learn. So if you are interested in studying the dialect further, or if you had any questions about what we covered in today's video, you can always find me at speakthespeech.net and reach out via the contact form. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. Be safe and well, and break a leg.